going to crochet with Potter and Bloom.
This is a video showing you how to work the Hoosier stitch, and this video was requested, well, it was kind of suggested to me. Somebody over Christmas was asking me about how to do the Hoosier stitch, and I've actually used this pattern for this stitch pattern for one of my designs, a chunky teal cowl. So I'll put a picture of that in here so you can see the way that the stitch can be used. It's quite a dense stitch. It's got a lovely texture on it. It would be perfect for blankets. I've worked it up in a cotton as well, and you can really see the stitch pattern, I think, a little bit better in the cotton yarn. Yeah, so it's a wonderful stitch. It's really easy. It's just a single row repeat, which are my favourite stitches. So grab yourself some yarn and a hook, and the tutorial will begin. Just so that you know, I work in UK crochet terminology, but I will put the US conversions in the video. Okay, and I'll also put the written pattern in UK and US terminology on my website, which will be linked below. Okay, bye. Okay, so for the Hoosier stitch, we're chaining in multiples of 3, and adding onto that multiple of 3, you add 1. So I have chained 28 here. It's also one of those stitches that can be a little bit tight on the first chain row, so it would be a good idea to chain really loosely, or alternatively to use a bigger hook just to do your chains. That works quite effectively. So the first thing we're going to do is work a treble into the 4th chain from the hook, and I will be putting US conversions up on screen for you to see. We chain 2, and we also work in that same space 1 double crochet. So in that 1 chain we have got a chain 3, I suppose you would call it, the turning chain, a treble and 2 chains, and then a double. I'm not sure that made sense at all. Okay, we then skip 2 chains and we work 2 trebles, two chains, and 1 double into the next space. And then we do that all the way along. Skip 2, two trebles, two chains, 1 double. Skip 2, two trebles. My ball of yarn is getting on my nerves. 2 chain and 1 double. And then when you get to the end, you have 3 chains, you skip 2, and then you do the last few stitches, or the last group I should say, into that last chain. Okay, so that is your row 1, and it should look something like that. Don't know if it's going to curl. Yeah, it does curl ever so slightly. If you pin it out, it straightens up completely. Okay, we're going to chain 3, and then we're going to turn. Now this is it's such a simple stitch. It's a single row repeat, and this is the row that you repeat. So you chain 3 and you work into this first 2 chain space. You work 1 treble, 2 chains and 1 double. And then in the next 2 chain space you work 2 trebles, 2 chains and 1 double, and then you repeat that all the way along. 2 trebles, 2 chains and a double. You start getting something like that. Okay, and when you get to the end, you work your last group into the last 2 chain space. And that is that. And you just continue on. Chain 3, turn, 1 treble, 2 chain, 1 double, and then 2 trebles, 2 chains and 1 double in the rest of them. And you have the Hoosier stitch.
in the comments below. See you on the next video.